smells nice. Smells like granules. Drying the BSF larvae the right way is key to preserving the quality of the larvae and extending the shelf life. Now, whether you are a fish farmer, you are a poultry farmer, or you're a pig farmer, or whatever livestock farming you are into, and then you intend using the BSF larvae, I'm going to show you how to use a charcoal powered or a gas powered dehydrator like this one standing in front of me or by my side in drying the BSF larvae. So many of you have asked me that 1 kg of dried larvae equals how many kilograms of the fresh larvae. We're going to also find out together in this video. Let's get right into it. The first thing we need to do is to sieve our larvae, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Try to sieve it to remove the frass. And you already know that the BSF frass is one very fantastic organic fertilizer that helps our plants to grow very well. So the next thing is to pre-treat the larvae. That's washing the larvae to ensure that we remove the remaining debris of the frass. I'll take the weight, of course, to see how many kg that I have. Remember I told you I'm going to show you the amount of fresh larvae that we collected and how many what's the weight of the dry larvae that we eventually get at the end of the day. The next thing we're going to do is to preheat our oven. So at this junction we're stacking our fresh larvae into our preheated oven. Very unfortunate that they're going to it's going to be a gruesome process for them. Well, it is what it is. That's their purpose. They're living their purpose. So the first one has gone into the dehydrator to dehydrate them, remove the excess moisture and increase their protein content. So that's what we're doing currently. The next trail, we're filling it up. Oh, very unfortunate, but yes, we have to let them go, get dehydrated so that they're more useful to their master, which is me. So of course the third trail, there it is, and so on and so forth. So we're going to allow them to sit for a couple of for a little while. So I've sent our larvae into the dehydrator in order for us to reduce their moisture content. And you also know that once we reduce the moisture content, we'll now have more concentrate of the protein. Now, I want to quickly talk about the dehydrator that we have here. Now, so this is a 10 rack dehydrator, right? And the appropriate heat that is needed to dry these larvae, it's about between 60 to 70 degrees Celsius, or between 140 to 119 Fahrenheit, depending on the one that you normally use. So that's the amount of heat that we need to dry them. So why do we bother drying the BSF larvae? So we dry them for several reasons. The first reason would be to extend the shelf life of the larvae. So that's one of the reasons why we dry the BSF larvae. Another reason would be to prevent spoilage, right? For example, if a client is buying 100 kg of the BSF larvae and they want to use it for a couple of days, it will make more sense for them to be dried, because if they're not dried, they're probably going to become the pre-pupa, then become the pupa, and then the adult fly before the client will have the chance to finish using that much. Or let's say the client is buying 1 ton, so you understand the reason why it's good to dry the BSF larvae. So another reason why drying the BSF larvae is a good thing to do is so that you can easily blend it or turn it into BSF meal. Now, once we're done drying this thing, you could just easily squash the BSF larvae and then it becomes powder, right? So these are some of the reasons why it's important that we dry the BSF larvae. Another reason would be to prevent bacteria and mold from growing on them. If they're not properly dried, you'll see that all kinds of stuff will be growing on the larvae. So just keep that in mind. And then everybody knows, or if you don't, probably most of us should know this, right? That once the BSF larvae is dried, we have more nutritional, we have more protein concentrate in the larvae, right? So those are some of the things that makes us want to dry the BSF larvae. And like as I've always said before, selling fresh larvae is only scratching the surface of the BSF market. So we have more things to do with the BSF larvae. For example, the dried one. From these dried larvae, we can extract the BSF oil out of this dried larvae. We can have the BSF meal, like I mentioned earlier on, and we can do a whole lot of other things like formulating special kind of feed for our livestock. Oh, my oven is burning. Special kind of feed for our livestock, right? Using the BSF larvae as a major source of protein. So these are some of the things that you want to keep in mind. Now, my plan is to ensure that the moisture content in the BSF larvae is slightly below 10%. So I keep checking, ensuring that it's evenly dried and ensuring that it doesn't get burnt, right? That's the essence of a dehydrator, to ensure that all of these things are in proper check. So some of us will wonder, like, what are the factors that determines the amount of protein that you get out of the larvae? And I like to say that whatever you feed to the larvae is what is going to determine the amount of protein that you get out of them. So in the future, I do plan to set up a laboratory in the farm where we'll have professionals who will carry out research on the amount of protein and other things that we could use the larvae to do, right? So that's it pretty much. So I'm going to share with you the science for you to know that, okay, these larvae are well dried. I'm going to share those science with you. But sometimes some people, they dry their larvae is not too dry, right? And because of that, the thing will start smelling and they start spoiling even before you use them. You don't want that. You want something that is properly dried and kept in an airtight container or in an airtight bag, which can serve you for the next 6 months or to the next 12 months. So those are some of the things you must keep in mind when you are drying the BSF larvae. So these are some that I've dried. I've taken the weight. It's almost 1 kilogram, right? I still have several in the dehydrator that are getting dried. Okay, now so the point is this: how do you know that these things are dried? Smells nice. Smells like granules, dried roasted granules or roasted peanuts. So, and now in the future, I know in the future, some places are already incorporating it in different countries. These BSF larvae, the dry one, are going to be incorporated in children feed, like as a source of protein for the feed. It's not something that is disgusting. It's something that is actually good. Insect-based protein will be incorporated in feed, in biscuits, and so on and so forth. So the industry is growing. Yeah, we have over $2 billion worth of investment in the BSF space globally. And as more and more investors come in, and as more and more people get to know about the BSF larvae and the amazing properties that it has and the benefit for our livestock, and as well as reducing our costs of production, more and more persons are going to come in, and then the industry is going to grow bigger. So there's so much we can do with the BSF larvae. I love them so much. I could even eat this one. I did eat some moments ago. It was kind of tasty, you know. Right, so that's it. So let's check the ones we have left in the oven and see if they are dried enough for us to take a proper weight, and then we know what we have here. So I'll just, every now and then I tend to change so that they don't get burnt. I think these ones are ready. Not quite, not quite. How do you know they are not ready? They feel like rubber, right? Instead of them to have this crunchy feel, but they still feel like rubber. That's how you know they are not quite ready. Let's see these ones. This one still feels like rubber, so I'll just shake so that they can be properly dried. Because if they are not properly dried, they are going to go bad, and you don't want that to happen. I think these ones are ready. Yeah, these ones are ready. These ones are ready, so we add them to the mix, and then we'll send these ones back in and allow them to sit for another 20 minutes, and that will be it. Now, in the case you need assistance in getting something like this or even something bigger, because we have a machine that can probably process let's say 0.5 tons in a day. This one, give or take, can do maybe 20 kg, 10 to 20 kg at a go, and then we'll see if we can do up to 100 kilograms in a day. So yeah, this is what I have, and that's what I'm using for now. As we grow, as we increase, we're going to get more. Notice that what we're doing here is just experimental. We want to see how many kilograms of this dried one that we get out of the wet one, and recall that we did 5 kg. So okay, so let's just wait for the remainder to get dried, and then we know what we're doing. So this is the moment we all have been waiting for. We've dried 5 kilograms of fresh larvae, and we want to see how many kg we were able to get in the dried form. So I'll just do this. It's a lot of larvae, right? But how many? What's the weight we got? So all right, so from my scale here, I actually balanced off this stainless pan. So from my scale here, we have 1 kg. So that means 5 kilograms of fresh larvae will give you 1 kg of crisp dried larvae. So at this stage, I could just scatter them like this. They're very dried, but not so dried in the way where the nutrients are lost. So you've seen it. So when you have 10 tons of, if you have 10 tons of fresh larvae, when dried, you're going to have 2 tons of dried larvae. Now, this is my theory. If we're able to produce in a larger quantity, instead of selling 1 kg for 1,000 naira, I mean the fresh larvae, we could sell 1 kg of fresh larvae for 500 naira, and then we could not sell the dried one for 2,500 naira. But for now, it will be difficult to sell at that rate because we don't yet have large production facilities. Personally, I do not have a large production facility. What I produce here is barely enough to meet up with the things I do with it, right? Let alone selling in that large quantity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep on producing, try my best to expand my operations and produce more and dry more and use them in my feed formulation and sell the ones I can sell and do the ones I can do. So that's the most we can take. So there you have it. 5 kg of fresh larvae gives you 1 kg of dried larvae. So now that they are dried, we've taken the weight. The next thing to do is to put them in an airtight container so they don't go bad. And I have some that I already got from the supplier, and I'm going to pack this. this part of what I'm going to use for my layer beds, for my local chickens, and then for my fishes. So I'm going to dry more, but since I already have this, I want to keep them well, so that I don't go bad. That's exactly what I'm doing. Now, if I were to be in America, okay, I could sell this for a good price. Like, I could maybe sell this little quantity for, like, let's say 20, 10, 15, $20 for this little quantity. But hey, we're in Nigeria, and then I can't sell it for that much. But my plan is to produce a lot of larvae that I can sell at a ridiculously lower price, only for the dried ones. So this can probably go into 3 bags or 4 bags, you know, and it's going to last a while, me using it little by little for my tilapia fishes. And the beautiful thing is, when you put them, when you give it to your fishes, they float on the water, and that's why I like them. I could grind this, right, and add some other kind of ingredients, like maybe plant-based ingredients, like maybe, I wouldn't want to tell you, but then I could just add some plant-based ingredients, and then this will become a very rich protein supplement, you know, for maybe fishes, birds, and what have you. And then we can turn this to pellets. We can pelletize this, and even without adding anything, they will just float. They'll float on the water, and fishes are going to love this. Yeah, if you can think of creative ways to feed your animals, your livestock, I mean, you'll cut down cost. So this is the much I can take from this video. So the remaining one off goes into the pond. So now I have 4 bags. Okay, I have 4 bags of these. Tell me in the comment sections, how much do you think I should sell each of these bags? How much do you think you're going to buy each of these bags? Well, I'm thinking maybe someone might want to buy this for 500 naira, but then I've spent 5 kg of fresh larvae to arrive at this. And the only way people are going to buy this is maybe if I sell this for 500 naira, or maybe 1,000 naira. You can buy it for 1,000 naira if I add some other stuff. Well, leave it in the comment section. You know what to do. Now, if you've not signed up for my course and you want to sign up, you want to learn how these things are done, I'm open to that. And if you've not gotten my book, why not get the book? It's for 5,000. It's an e-copy, and you'll get 1 or 2 information from that book. If you've not subscribed to our channel, you're going to miss out on our upcoming videos that we're going to make, and even the research work we're doing that we're going to post on this channel. It's going to help a ton to a lot of farmers all over the world, to cut down the cost of production. I mean it. So please, please, and please click on the subscribe button, share the video to your loved ones, share the video to a fellow farmer. I mean, what more can we ask? And like the video if you've not liked it. Then I have a checklist to dry the BSF Larvae. If you need a copy, comment, and I'm going to send you a link to download it on the comment section. Thank you, and God bless you.